Ça tourne caméra 1, caméra 2, ça tourne. C'est bon.
So you have some heart in this, basically. Did you go to school for it?
No,
So you just learned it on your own?
most of it, yeah. Because the top is not fighting well enough, well, money is not pouring in into. So they can't pay people right. And now the employee is not motivated enough and the job is not done correctly.
Right.
And therefore you have now bad performance. You have to own it. Yeah, this is a business. The whole point of a business is to make money. They will prefer a dancing video on TikTok about their brand than a customer review.
When you're thinking about marketing and you're thinking about digital marketing, what should be your approach? Where do you start? What do you gauge for? How do you start and how do you measure what you're doing?
So you have to have the
Welcome to episode 1, the first episode of the podcast called Woven Minds. On this platform, we're going to be talking to experts, artists, professionals, people who are intelligent, people who are innovative, people who are creative. Basically pick their minds about, on what they do, entrepreneurship, just a variety of things that has to do with, like I said, entrepreneurship, the arts, and professionalism. And also, this will resolve quite around Africa with reference to other continents and countries around the world. My guest today is a B2B marketer, a friend, African, who I've met not too long ago, but we have had a lot of experience together already. We have discussed quite a few things that I think the world or our community can benefit from. And so today we have him on the show and we're going to pick his mind around a few topics, and you'll hear from him, and we'll go back and forth, and I hope you enjoy it. And so his name is Fèmi. So I'll be introducing Fèmi. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do, tell us where you're from, and then we'll take it from there.
Hi, I'm Fèmi Tossou. First of all, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for
coming.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
That's a pleasure to be here. So yeah, we've met recently, and it feels like it has been ages. So me. I'm not there. I'm just not there. I'm the guy who's never there.
You're basically you like to and you tend to be invisible.
Yes.
But you're often the brain of the operation.
No, not the brain. I'm just I don't know. Maybe
a contributing brain.
Of the connecting
brain.
I'm the connecting.
The connector. Okay.
I'm the connecting tissue in the thing.
Okay. Okay, I accept that.
That's just that. I do marketing in B2B especially, and I tend to love that. Tend to love the way to.
And what does that mean, B2B marketer?
Well, that's an interesting question. I used to say B2B marketing is about using marketing in a sense, or even clearer again, taking business ideas, and spreading it into the world. For me, that's just that the opportunity to take a business idea with all it encompasses, with like what are you really trying to do, what is the impact you want to make in the world with your business, and just spread that to the people that need it at the right time, at the right place, and with the right means. For me, that's it. That's the B2B marketing
Okay.
word. Yes.
Okay. And so where are you from?
Well, that's another interesting question. Like, how do you define where I am from?
Like, where are you born? Right now we're in Togo, Togo Lomé. So tell us, where your roots are, and what has brought you here today. How you've gotten here today, as a B2B marketer, as Fèmi. Yeah.
All right. I just landed in life yesterday, so. Well, no. Seriously, though, I'm born here in Clinic Biassa. I used to tell that to people, so they really understand that it's pure Lomé.
Really, yeah, Lomé. You're at the heart of Lomé.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And well, starting from that, I've been in Benin for a long period. Like, I mean, maybe over 20 years. A lot of interactions there, people from different places, and well, that's the bulk of it. I came back in 2020, no, 2017. Oh my God, and that's when I started doing my thing here.
So how did you get to become a B2B marketer? Is this something you always wanted to be, or you just stumbled into it? Tu veux parler français aussi, hein? C'est pas grave.
Ouais, but I
To challenge yourself a little.
Yes, that will be interesting.
Okay.
B2B marketing. How I got to B2B marketing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to. Funny thing, I never told that story. I wanted to succeed where my dad had failed. Like, we had a company, and at some point with time, it failed. Like, we weren't profitable anymore, and
You and your dad?
it was a family affair.
Okay.
And I was just working into it, and well,
What was the business?
the business, well, it started like I would say hospitality, because we had a hotel, and then afterwards we just brought the part food and beverage,
Okay.
and places where you can rent if you want to stay in the country for a few days, so just apartments.
Okay.
And at some point it didn't work. So my question.
And what year was this? So basically a bed and breakfast.
I think,
Okay.
I think.
And what year was that?
It was like we went. The hotel was from 2000 to 2008, and then afterwards it was a bed and breakfast, as you stated, until 2011.
Okay.
And that's it. And I wanted to find a way to do what we hadn't succeeded to do.
Okay.
And
that makes sense.
Push businesses to flourish, to go towards new customers, the good customers, the right customers at the right time. And that's how I went into B2B marketing.
So you have some heart in this, basically. It's not just a job. It's an objective. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Did you go to school for it?
No.
So you just learned it on your own?
Most of it, yeah. Yes.
Like YouTube, Google, like did you books?
It started with a Google. There was a Google program at the time, Google Digital Garage.
Wow. I know you laugh because it's like ages ago, right? Okay.
Yeah. This is how I started, and yeah, I've had the opportunity to find people that were very take the lead. This is what we want to do in digital marketing. This is what we want to do in marketing for our B2B purposes. So try something new. It was the case at the time. Try something new, and that's how I grew up.
Okay. And so, well, let's go back a little bit. How do you define B2B marketing? Like, what is B2B marketing?
For me, I think every company at the base of it, every company has a soul, something that really, I don't know. c'est l'essence même de l'entreprise. Et cette essence même, elle peut être portée par le fondateur, elle peut être portée par, elle peut être découverte après par la culture de l'entreprise, elle peut être après avec les interactions produits clients et tout. Mais cette essence-là, il est essentiel d'avoir une façon particulière de la présenter aux autres. Et pas seulement venez acheter, venez acheter, venez acheter.
Okay.
C'est vraiment, OK, l'entreprise, the company stands for this. What we want to do for you is this. So now, you that needs this, here's how we can do it. And the way to be able to have that conversation for me is B2B marketing. Is the way to push the idea of the company towards the client. And that client is usually another company, and that's the B2B part. That usually another company that needs the service or the product or something. So it's pushing an idea from a company to another company and finding where and how you can put that together to get a result. I don't know if it's clear.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I see what you mean.
I'm grateful.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So is that what we call branding? That soul that you talk about, is that what we call branding? Or because oftentimes when they talk about branding, they do talk about the core of the brand, like, what makes that brand, right? And that comes before the product or the service. So I could be wrong. Is that what we will call branding, or something else?
I would say yes. On a large spectrum, yes.
Yes. So if it's not exactly branding, if it's more, how would you define branding then? Well, first tell me, if you can use one word to describe branding, what would it be? And then if you can use one sentence to describe branding, what would it be?
One sentence and one word.
One sentence and one word.
Okay. Oh, wow. One word, I would say identity.
Okay.
I'll really say identity.
Okay.
And in a sentence, I'll take a side road. I would say branding is. I wish I had time to
think about it. Okay, maybe so not one sentence. Just talk about it how you will.
I don't want to sound cliche, but branding is really how your company. I would say that how your company portrays itself and is perceived by others. And that means those two sides, right? How do you portray yourself, and how people or businesses perceive what you think you're pushing to the world. And so that would be it. How do you portray yourself, and how people perceive what you are as a company and what you give to the world outside.
Okay. So how often, as a B2B marketer, how often are you having conversations around branding with your clients, and what would the company within you're working for, and the people who you're marketing to? How often are you having that conversation?
Almost every day. I mean, I currently work with a company in gifting, luxury gifting. And this is a conversation we have every day, because every aspect of the work of the company is related to that, right? It has to have that special touch. So branding is every day in the conversation. Even if we have we have to make a gifting strategy for this company, it will come to branding too. Well, how do we portray in the gifts, the soul of the company, how those gifts will resonate with the positioning of the company, how it will be about what are the colors, like the color palette, and how can we use those gifts to, just so that if someone get the box or get something, they say, okay, oh, I know it's coming from. Yes, that so the conversation is every day, every hour, maybe every 30 minutes.
It's the heart of the company then. Yeah. Okay. So as a B2B marketer, what kind of issues are you called to help to solve? If you
Who
can,
are you?
if you
Who are you? Who are you?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm an image consultant and growth strategist. And that spans anywhere from, fashion is my background. Fashion is my first field. Gravitating over to, what do you call it? A media production. And now I find that, a lot of the strategies that I've learned in fashion and in media, it's applicable everywhere. So I'm at the same time I'm working, at the same time I'm working on fixing or tethering to certain clients, or coming up with solutions for clients. I'm experimenting in different fields to see, would this formula work here? Would this formula work here? Would this formula work here? And most times it does. So that's my field, and it's growing. Because I'm someone who likes to learn. I'm more of a student than a master at anything. Even if I master something, I don't think I can. I think it's just better to remain a student. That way you just keep on learning. So because of that too, I tend to take on or get on to certain, take on a new thing. Or just, sometimes I also just arrive at a new thing just because my curiosity is so sensitive, if we can say that.
See, and that is the problem, the most important problem I have, and it's not a problem so far. People, we as human, and therefore the brands or the businesses we start are not, like, we are not born with the capacity to articulate straightforward our brand. And that's the thing. So you described yourself, and there are many points there in the description, like student. You have this approach where you're searching for, and I'll put it on the side, solutions. You're a solution-driven person, and I'll put it on the side, and you do it for others. Right? You're not that kind of researcher that will search for a solution and that will wait for a Nobel Prize. You want something that others can use.
Right.
Right. It's now we are forming something around you that is more than what you do. It's more about why you do it. So that's the main thing I have to tackle each and every time, and is how do you really take all the data, all the information, and model something
Okay.
that will connect with people.
So you come to put the pieces together.
Yes.
Into creating a singular brand on a singular objective or a singular mission, right? Because in business, each company has to have a mission statement. Like, what is it that you want to do? And so you come over to identify that, right? Because then say identify, it goes back to branding identity. Look at that.
Yes.
Okay, so that's okay. So I understand. So what kind of challenges do you run into often? And when I say often, I emphasize on often because there must be a recurring thing that you come across that either drives you, assures you that you're in the right place, you're the right person for the job, or that shows you like in the industry this thing is like everyone has these problems or something like that.
The amount of time where someone has like a brand or a business and they are all over the place. Like there is a reason why there's the Toyota and there's the Lexus. Right. So if you're not into cars, like okay, Lexus is it's in the name. It's luxurious.
Luxurious.
Yes.
And I think even the consumer target is different.
That's different.
But it's the same mother company.
Yes, it's the same mother company, but two different brands. Toyota, you can use it well. Your Mrs. and Mr. Everybody. And if you have a Lexus, okay. Now we're playing.
Now you're
one
step ahead. Okay.
So sometimes, much more than I want to. I see people. They're like, okay, I want to do this with my company, with my brand. I want to have this level of quality of service, of product, and at the same time I want this amount of clients or this popularity. The point of popularity is something that bothers me a lot these days. Everyone wants hundreds, millions of views on TikTok, and at the same time they want to be like they want to have the prestige of Bugatti.
That's funny. Yeah.
And yes, these days that's what drives me. I want to find, each time I cross problems like that or situations like that, I want to find the solution. I want to guide them. I want to help them. Okay, this is where you can be happy with your objective and the resources, or usually the resources you have.
You know, when you mentioned something about the prestige of Bugatti and having a lot of views on social media, what part of that, and I have a next point after that, what part of that has to do with the money part? Because the other day when we were at the foire, we were talking to a few people, and I was asking if you're the business owners, what do you care about the most, the image or the money? So I think maybe that's where we are with this now, right? So it sounds like the prestige of the Bugatti and millions of a lot of views on social media, that seems more like image side, right? So maybe, I don't know, what part of that has to do with the money?
Yeah, you can see that these people, like some people are like famous. They have million views, famous. They have million views, 100K views on TikTok and stuff like that. They are focused on that, right? They are popular. Now, for me, there's a big difference between being popular and being successful in the bottom line. Je prends souvent l'exemple de l'école. Il y a la personne qui est super populaire. Elle est super populaire, tout le monde l'adore. Et il y a le génie dans notre classe, the guy who's very good at mathematics. If you're stuck in your math exercise or something, I don't know, like you have to do something in mathematics, the popular person might help you, but you will be ready to give your food, your pocket money to the guy who's very good at it in your classroom. This guy or this girl, you will give your money, you will give anything that person wants just to get the problem solved. Yet the other person is popular, but you didn't get there. So to me, that's the real conversation around. Okay, I want to be famous. I want to be in the high volume of views, and I want to be known for what I do by the right person, and the person that at the end of the day will say, this person or this brand, this company has the solution I want for my business, and I'm willing to invest into it. And that's, to me, is the conversation about, at some point you're chasing down fame, and on the other side you're chasing down what I feel like is to be known.
Okay. And then, so when it comes to the money part, do you think it's my impression that entrepreneurs have a hard time facing the money part, like either, well, I was going to say making a plan for the money, but before that, even being honest with themselves. I want to make money doing this. No one wakes up, makes all these efforts as a business owner just to be popular. If you do it long enough, you come to a point where you don't really want to be popular. The way you'll be tired, it's gonna look, you're gonna look in the face like you're tired. You kind of just want to make your money, take care of your family, and create space to not be stressed out, to live, let's say that. So I find that there's this taboo around saying, yeah, I'm in it for the money. And if I'm known, great. If I'm not, that's fine too. So do you think, what is your view on that? And do you think it's true that this is true? Because you've worked with multiple brands, you work with many brands, so you work with different entrepreneurs to see this enough. So what is your view on that?
I totally agree. First. Second, it's not only that owning that, we are in this game for the money is a problem or an issue, but is that we tend to be bad at it. We tend to be even bad at even if like I'm hiding that I'm in for the money. In whatever I do, in the dark or something, caché dans ma chambre, I'm even bad at it, right? I don't even like in myself say, okay, this quarter I will do everything to have that because I need that money. It sometimes falls back to, okay, qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour qu'on ne me voit pas trop, ou qu'est-ce que je peux faire, non, même pas ça, qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour être dans la masse, qu'est-ce que je peux faire pour qu'on me voit bien, mais en même temps j'ai besoin d'argent, je vais d'abord faire ce que je peux faire pour qu'on me voit bien, pour que mon nom soit dehors et tout, bon, après maintenant l'argent va suivre. At some point it becomes very complicated. You have to own it. Yeah, this is a business. The whole point of a business is to make money. The whole point is to make money. So yes, that's something. Tu l'as bien décrit en fait. Hein. C'est un gros problème. C'est un gros problème et je crois qu'il faut apprendre à le régler. Je crois que c'est un shift de mentalité que certaines cultures ont. If you take Nigerian people, I've seen more Nigerian people with the right attitude. Like, I need money.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the money.
Yeah.
I'm not here for... And if you come back here, people are like, je vais te donner du boulot aux gens. Oh, well, yeah. But will you make money, though? Bon, il faut bien que je fasse quelque chose. Il faut bien vivre un peu de ça. Vivre un peu is not the objective, right? And it has a very dangerous consequence. It's like people, I might get seen very bad for this, but people are well underpaid here as global. And that's because sometimes, for what I see, sometimes some entrepreneurs, some brands don't really fight for that piece of cake they need to have, right? And because the top is not fighting well enough, well, money is not pouring in into, so they can't pay people, right? And now the employee is not motivated enough, and the job is not done correctly,
Right.
and therefore you have now bad performance. And if a client comes and say, okay, I will pay for your performance, no, you don't have the right performance, so I can't pay you that amount sometimes, right? Sometimes you have clients that come, okay, I can pay you whatever, but I need that standard, I need that quality of work. But because the employee is not rewarded enough, you don't get that quality of work. So either you lose the contract or the client say, no, I won't pay for that because that's trash.
So do you think I've seen this is not only our local community issue, all the way from the United States to here. I think it's something that I've had to learn too. But it's not, it's a little bit, I guess when you live in an economically driven space, it's a little bit more evident, right? Because you get to the point where the lack of money starts choking you, and you have to say, you know what, it's what do they call it? Sink or swim, quoi.
Okay.
You know, like, you know, you start looking for the money, but usually that's when it's a little bit late, and you try to, you know, get your stuff together and try to get it done. But even that, right? Let's go into when you need help. There are many people that don't know how to ask for help. They don't know how to ask for the right help, right? Because let's say you realize that, you know what, I've been caring about everything but the money, but now I need the money. Not everyone is equipped to just know how exactly to start doing that, to start that process. So do you find that entrepreneurs in Africa don't know how to ask for help or recognize help? Or what is the attitude towards, you know, getting like a coach, for example, or getting an expert that would kind of take on this objective and fix it for them for the exchange of money? And maybe also does now it kind of becomes, because I can imagine it's a difficult thing to deal with, because you're trying to make more money. You're trying to make money, and now you're in a case where you have to spend money to make money, which is something that in business it's a basic saying.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so what is your experience in that?
Well, I think there's a lot of, first of all, if I'm the boss of a company, I need to know everything. I need to know how to do everything, and I don't need help, because that's how I'm the boss. There's some kind of thinking related to that. And on the other part, there's also the approach that if it's not something tangible, if it's not something I can touch, I'm not sure it can help me. So on that part, I've crossed path with entrepreneurs that are very reluctant to hear outside counsel. Yes, because they've been in the business for 3 years. It has been like somehow successful, you know, but it's hard. It's hard, but well, you know, he's the boss or she's the boss, and nah, who are you again to counsel them? Even if you have the title, even if you have it will work if somebody else, like a big name, just come and say, oh, this person, hire him to or hire her to do the job. Referral works sometimes. But then again, you will come to the point where, okay, what will you give me? well, I'll make analytics, I'll do this, and I'll bring you a report. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, in my field, sometimes you will fight, you will even like spy on others just to get a report. Because you know that report, in that report, there's a line in the 100th page that will help you with the precise information that will help you to succeed for the next 5 years in a certain context. There's still at some point a problem with entrepreneurs here to see value in intellectual, like I don't know how to say it, like, la valeur du travail intellectuel. C'est difficile. Still difficile. Et encore, c'est encore plus difficile quand la personne qui doit venir faire le conseil n'est pas quelqu'un qui a été référencé par un grand ou une grande. Aucun lien politique. Voilà, il vient pas avec une grosse voiture ou bien un hélicoptère qu'il a déposé dans le jardin et tout. Donc, c'est somehow a little bit complicated.
There's this talk of instant gratification.
Big time.
And so
Big time problem.
I guess that, you know, that's a representation of instant gratification. If I can see it, then I should be able to, or I need to see it in order to invest in it.
Yes, yeah.
And if I see it, I should be able to have it. So, okay, let's go into the digital aspect, right? Because as this digital marketer, what does that mean today to be a digital marketer? Or what is the importance of having a digital marketer today?
What does that mean is like you sleep with one thing in mind, you think you have something figured out, and the next morning when you wake up, you have one email or one information or one tweet, and you're like, okay, it's all over again. You have to start over again. It's rapidly changing, and it's mind-blowing how fast it's changing. Now, second question was,
how do you? What? Well, I said what does it mean today? Like how what is the importance of it?
The importance of it. Well, I don't really know. I don't think we should even talk about digital marketing anymore.
No.
Wow. I'm sorry. Digital is everywhere. I mean,
I guess there's only digital marketing.
Yes.
Okay.
And even when today, even when you do TV ads, there's some components that are instilled into it just so that you can feed back into the website or into like a behavior that we can trace afterwards, or some keywords that we want you to hear, so that next time we open the analytics on Google, like the report, we see that, okay, so the ad went and there's a spike in search for that specific term. So it's all the same thing right now. Tout est mélangé maintenant. Il n'y a plus vraiment de digital marketing d'un côté, marketing analogique ou marketing traditionnel de l'autre côté. Everything is all tied up. So the importance is the same as marketing and vital. If you don't do nothing, you will be nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be felt, and right, that's what.
So if we're talking about digital, right, the back of house of digital marketing, you know, there's a lot going on back there. For people like us, for example, you know, we're producing the ads, we're finding ways to publish it, right? Finding platforms to publish it. We're studying demographics. We're studying human behavior, right? And computers are doing all of that work. For the entrepreneurs that are not familiar with the back of house work, do you think Do you think because they don't see like the back of house work that they don't see the importance in it? Because when you do get into that world and they explain to you how this is done, you're like, what? You know, earlier we were talking about on social media now, you know, FaceTime was introduced. Unlocking your phone with your face was introduced. And we see it as a convenient thing. But in 2 layers behind, it's studying how the human behavior. So I wonder if that's like a popular knowledge. For me, when I hear something like that, that's quite urgent information. Like you're studying the way I look at things. And what are you doing with that information? Now, that's on the consumer end. But when you're on the selling end, it's much sweeter because then you don't have to work so hard to find your customer. And not a lot of people are having the experience of knowing how those metrics work, how those machines work. So do you think it makes a difference for the entrepreneur to research and understand how digital marketing works? Because you're seeing it from the front end, but the back end.
Like totally, like the word is simple. I think I used it earlier in this conversation, but it's competitive advantage. Like, come on, even if you're a one-person business, you're an entrepreneur. Won't you find any active usage of how this what technology I use? Okay. Let's say something basic like how the algorithm on this social media network works. If you use that social network to publish your content, the mere fact that you get into the research about how the algorithm distributes the content is important for you. Else you will be publishing in the dark. So to me that's very important for entrepreneurs to go back to that research phase about tools used in marketing, and even if it's dans d'autres domaines de la technologie, parce qu'à la fin ça se ramène, tant que c'est de la technologie, on peut toujours l'utiliser. Donc oui, c'est super important pour les entrepreneurs de faire de la recherche, de savoir, d'écouter les gens qui savent. C'est très important aussi parce que oui, il y a l'aspect technique, on peut se retrouver dans 200 pages de documentation technique sur Facebook, mais il y a des gens qui ont la pratique de la chose, qui ont passé du temps à utiliser, qui savent, bon voilà, je peux te résumer ça en une phrase. Ouais. Voilà, c'est très important. Pour moi, c'est très important, c'est vital et ça permet d'avoir de l'avance sur les autres, sur tous les autres qui ne le font pas, et beaucoup ne le font pas parce qu'il y a beaucoup d'autres choses à faire.
Understood. Now, on a scale of 0 to 10, where does Africa stand on that?
How many continents are there? I mean, like...
Or continent-wise?
Yes.
I don't know, like 5
or 6. Okay, we might be... Okay, we might be one minus the last one.
Like at the bottom of the list?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
To be fair. Because from my experience, most of the knowledge that entrepreneurs get about how those technologies work come from people that are making content for them to be hired. Most of these entrepreneurs stumble upon a video on TikTok or Instagram about a so-called expert. I want to simplify things for you so that you can start something, get far enough to get stuck, and and hire that person.
So let's come back to just the basics of what are the fundamentals of digital marketing?
Depends. Like
As an entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, let's say you start your brand today, you have to be conscious of the fact that you have to do marketing.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So when you're thinking about marketing and you're thinking about digital marketing, what should be your approach? Where do you start? What do you gauge for? Right? Like, how do you even measure? How do you measure? Right? How do you start and how do you measure what you're doing?
Well, that's a long topic.
And how do you connect that to your bottom line?
It will depend on your environment and what kind of industry you are, and even kind of there's a basic saying in what you need to have, basically to have some sort of base to do digital marketing. I think it ages a little bit now, but you have to have a website. You have to have first you have to have branding, right? You have to have a structured how's it? It's a document about your brand. I forgot the name. Oh Jesus.
Let's call it a business. Can we call it a business plan? Well, it's somewhat in the business plan. It's a part of the business plan.
It's a full document about the branding, and you will always come back to it when it comes to branding.
Maybe that's a mission statement.
Now it's way more than that, because it will encompass everything about image, tone of voice, everything about branding will be in here. The name is just
escaping.
Yes,
we'll be back.
So you have to have the brand. Let's say a branding. You have to have the website, because you need the branding to have the website. For it to be online, you have to have social media. Now these days, what else? Well, anywhere with the website comes everything about emailing and stuff like that. So let's say you have those three: branding, website, and social media. Now you have to at least know who you want to speak to, or who you want to engage with.
I think that's what we were calling your avatar profile the other day.
Yes. And you very like tu as vraiment bien repassé, tu es vraiment bien repassé sur le sujet. Je sais pas s'ils ont vraiment suivi, mais oui, c'est ultra important d'avoir l'avatar ou le persona, ça dépend de comment on dit. Ça nous permet de savoir, ok, ça c'est le profil de ce que je recherche, au lieu d'être dans une foule et de se dire, bon, mon client est dans la foule, je vais essayer de le trouver, de le toucher. Quand on a, ok, mon client il ressemble à ça et ça, il fait ça et ça parce qu'il veut ça et ça, on sait tout de suite, ok, voilà, là il y a lui qui se comporte comme ça, il ressemble à ça c'est mon client. Donc à partir de cet instant-là, je peux lui envoyer des signaux. Maintenant, outbound, inbound, every company has its own strategy around that. Some people are very pushy. They will say, hey you, I have a product for you.
Right.
Or the other company will say, hey, do you see this? Isn't it your problem? Or does it feel like something you want? And you will say, oh yeah, so my name is X company and stuff. So at this point, it's about the content. Usually you have to produce content of some sort. And when you have that content, it will either go on your website, on your social media, and in other ways you have to distribute it. And social digital marketing, people forget it's not about it's not only about social media. Like you have messages, SMS, you have calls. Even if it's very paid, it's still digital marketing, you know. Emails, you have there's plenty of ways to put out content. Du moment que c'est digital, c'est du digital marketing. So you have to send those content out and then monitor the feedback. Or even before that, you start monitoring the feedback of the people around your brand. around the problem they have, around the solution you're providing to them. So now I cut some part, but now we come to the part where, okay, you have those information, you monitor, you have this information. Maintenant, c'est le moment où il faut savoir, ok, mon produit, je l'ai mis là, je l'ai mis en vente, j'ai mis du contenu autour de lui. Est-ce que je touche la population? Ça, c'est les analytics, c'est les retours en matière de données. Okay? Est-ce que les gens s'intéressent au contenu de type, ok, découvrez le produit? Quel est le problème que vous avez? Ou si je fais une vidéo, let's say, vidéographe, filmmaker. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, let's say you're a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Okay, you put out content about how a brand can, let's say the problem for the brand would be, how a brand can use video, right? To a Fortune 500 brand can use video to get to a new market, in a new culture. How can you leverage the video part of content production at some point that is so precise, so intimate, so vivid that even another culture can be touched, like can be interested in what you do. This is so like pointu. I mean, it's not like the student from the second year that would come to that point, at least, or maybe he's doing, I don't know, a work for the classroom or something. But c'est sûrement quelqu'un qui se retrouve dans cette situation-là. Ok, est-ce que les gens viennent vers ça? Maintenant, quand ils viennent vers ça, comment ils réagissent après ça? Est-ce qu'ils s'intéressent à mon second contenu, ou en tant que filmmaker, je leur dis, ok, voici le top 3 des agences qui peuvent vous donner ce type de contenu-là. Est-ce qu'ils réagissent à ça? Est-ce que quand ils ont réagi à ça, ils s'intéressent à la 3e agence ou à la 4e bonus où j'ai mis le lien vers mon site web? Quand ça se passe, comment ça se passe quand ils vont sur mon site web? Est-ce qu'ils demandent a quotation? Est-ce qu'ils demandent, j'ai oublié le nom en français, do they ask for a quotation? Do they send me an email? Do they do something about it? And then afterwards, okay, my clients, do they look like the people that have done all this circuit, right? The funnel, does the end, le client à la fin, est-ce qu'il ressemble à ça? And then you have all these questions about the data, all these, all this information that you need to pour into your analytics of the situation. And well, at some point, you can say if or not your strategy is working and is really impacting your bottom line. I mean, I've got a lot of things along the way, but
it's a bit of it's a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
And so how out of the average 5 entrepreneur, how many are doing this work? Let's come back a little bit to West Africa.
Can you make it on 100?
I know. And what's painful is there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of opportunity in in Africa. Let's say West Africa. I think it's much easier to start a business, right? To like sell something. You can just do it outside your house. You can just, and people start that way. They start selling like a little bit, a little food, a little something, and then they gradually, become, they more and more successful. But it's all very still analog, very, by chance analog. So I wonder, from your perspective as a digital marketer, as somebody navigating companies, how many people are you often coming in and saying, okay, you're halfway, or is it often like, man, you haven't started anything? And there are a lot of people that are in business for 5 is relatively, you need 5 years before you start getting a stride. If you get it before that, you're lucky. But 10 years, let's say 10 years. 10 years is a long time to be in business and not know much about digital marketing, having not taken advantage of it. So what is it often? Are you seeing people that are often just not using it or not aware of it, don't know how to use it?
That's the vast majority of what I see. people are just not using. Just as I said, people are not using.
Do you think it's a lack of awareness or lack of just self-initiating like research and things like that? Are they just not informed, or are they just lazy to do it?
Not lazy. They are not informed. First of all, because that, like that, it's not that pushed out. There are people who used it and they are successful in it, but they don't talk about it. And what people talk about, and I'll come back to it. What people talk about is simple things that will get you somewhere. They are so used to the simple things that will get them somewhere that they don't look at the whole picture. They will prefer like a dancing video on TikTok about their brand than a customer review, for example.
Interesting.
But for me, that's not even possible. I mean,
so customer review is like non-existent.
I won't say non-existent. Sometimes there are some customers review, but they are not like, this is not something they want. This is not something they track down.
Right.
It can happen, and they put it out there. So like, oh, see, someone is happy about that, and that's all. It's not a full strategy like, okay, I will get those reviews because that will get people to come and buy, because they'll see that another human person is okay with the product, is more than okay with the product. It's not like, now, lack of awareness and...
Are they not doing the research, or the information is just not available on this side of the world?
I would say they are not doing the research. Come on. The information is available. Come on, the internet is everywhere now. I think Africa has the highest penetration when it comes to internet. Even, I think.
Yeah.
I think. Last time I saw the resource, both internet and cell phone. If it's not the highest, like it's in the top 2.
We know. I think what we probably see a lot of, there's a high use of the internet for entertainment, right? And maybe not enough use of it for intellectual
research and yes, education,
innovation,
and
stuff like that.
Yes, that's something I'm pretty sure with you. That's what I see.
That's the bottom line of it. They're using their phones and the internet more for entertainment than to evolve and innovate and grow their companies.
Yeah, totally.
Well, all right. Thank you for the knowledge you've shared with us today. We appreciate you coming through and sitting with us and discussing these general points. I think you'll be back to get it. We didn't get to touch up on artificial intelligence, but I understand that that's a little bit out there. If we're, geographically, we're in consideration to where we are geographically, it's a little bit out there. Yeah. But that's something that we'll probably spend like an hour talking about, because it's outside of out there. It's being used. People are just farther along using it, and here I don't see that being done. So, thank you. And
thank you.
Thank you as well for hanging out with us, and engaging or following what we've talked about. Follow, comment on the content. Let us know if there's certain things you would like to hear us touch upon. Certain people you would like us to bring on the show, and don't be afraid to engage and talk to us. We'll be engaging with you. We're prepared to answer any questions that you have, and we hope to see you on the next episode. Peace.